Welcome to the Nourish and Restore podcast with me, Nina, and my awesome friend, Nicole, where we bring all things nourishing and restorative to you, your body, mind, and soul. A chance for you to enjoy simple tools to help you live a happier, healthier, and more peaceful life. Join us now as we move into conversation.
Welcome, Nina, to our chat today for our new month and our new theme. I'm very excited to be sharing this information with everybody as it lies very close to all of us. The theme for this month is the heart chakra and the air element. So tell us, Nina, how are you doing, and how does this kind of not affect your life, but how does this, what's the right word?
Support?
Yes, how does this support? How does the heart chakra and the air element support your being and everything that you do?
Cool. Morning, Nicole. So lovely to hear your voice again. And yeah, so good to be on this call and this chat with you to chat about our heart chakra, the air element. And I suppose how this supports me is that, it's where I do all my work from. When we have that open heart and that space of love and compassion, we're really able to connect to the projects we're doing so much more easily, or the teachings we're doing. And for me, I just love the center because it is the gateway chakra between the grosser elements, the more dense elements, the base chakra, the sacral center, and the fire center or personal power, solar plexus. And then the heart center being the gateway to the more etheric, the spiritual realms, the less dense ones. So yeah, definitely a beautiful center that is needing balance and helps us move from the more spiritual to the physical. And again, when we're too physical and too heavy, moving us back up more into the spiritual. So what about you, Nicole? I know compassion is a big aspect in your life, and all the work you do definitely comes from your heart space as well. So why don't you give us a little take on the heart center and how it relates to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Nina. It's really, as you said, that the center of our being and the center of the gateway and the connection between the lower and higher chakras. And what I actually love the most about it is that it's connected to the air element. I think, as you said just now, you can be in your heart center, but it can be a positive in the heart center, and it can often also be a negative in the heart center, depending on what in life we're currently experiencing. And I think the beauty of the air element that comes in is to just remind us to keep things light, to keep things flowing, and to keep things, allow things to be easy. I think sometimes life can really weigh us down, and we can really often find ourselves in situations where we really almost need to pick ourselves off from the floor, where the air element is just so beautiful, where it just so gently lifts you back up. And as that beautiful saying goes, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the heart chakra is, yes, all about compassion. For me, it's all about being in service for others, for humanity, for the world, for our animals. Everybody has a beautiful story to their life, and some stories aren't that easy. And, we just need to be able to look at each other and be able to be there for each other and be able to understand each other. I feel nowadays people are falling into the comparison so much, where rather than comparing, we should try and, support and be there for each other, because we all still breathe the same air, we all still walk the same path. It is just set out differently for each of us, because we all have our journey and we all have our life lessons, to learn. And I believe that through our life lessons, we can enrich other people's lives too.
Oh, that's so true, Nicole. That's definitely one of the big things, is kind of not finding differences between one another, but actually enjoying the similarities that we all have. And when you were talking a little earlier about, the air element being a light, it's mobile, it's spontaneous. So when we have that heavy feeling, when we're feeling like, we're stuck on the ground and we can't get ourselves up, the air element is such a beautiful element to work with, to lift us up and to get us moving and to get us back into flow.
Absolutely. I was just thinking now, as you were saying that, when one is feeling down and depressed and moody and just not yourself, your happy self, one of the things that I love to do is to just turn on the music and dance, whether it's dancing in the kitchen or in the lounge, and just allow that lightness to come back in again,
and let the body be spontaneous. Let it dance how it wants. Find that rhythm with the music and just let it go. Love it.
Absolutely. And in that awe, I often even find myself, doing yoga. It's amazing how one actually ends up bringing the practice into everything that one does, which is so beautiful. Yeah. And I think just on a day-to-day basis, being able to realize that we are here, we are human, the saying is we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So as much as we try and actively and consciously be in our heart space, we will all have moments where we slip out of it. And to then once again step into that heart space for yourself, to be non-judging, not only non-judging to others around you, but to be non-judging and loving and compassionate to yourself, I think is one of the biggest gifts.
Yeah, definitely. And that is a big lesson, I think, for so many of us, is that self-love. Because very often it's quite easy to love others, if it's our children, our, family members, our partner, but we often forget to do that self-love, just to honor ourselves, accept where we are. And especially, I think, as women, not taking ourselves so seriously and being so hard on ourselves. I mean, the air element is all about movement and rhythm. And when we get into this positive rhythm of, our own self-love, our own self-compassion, we then have like an abundance within us, which is then more easily able to kind of flow and be shared with others.
Absolutely. And there are so many beautiful things that we can do. We can form little groups to help each other, in times of need. Even if it's just for upliftment, perhaps it's for exchange. For me, really living in the heart space is being able to reach out to another, whether it's reaching out to help them step up, or whether it's reaching out to say, guys, I need some help. I'm really low, or I'm not going through a great time of my life. And then allow, by opening your heart to this, to the honesty of where you're at, allowing somebody else to step in and be there for you. I feel that a lot of us doing the work that we're doing, we often are so there for everyone, but then often we find it difficult when we're not going through a good time to be able to reach out and say, hey guys, I need some help,
I need some support. Yeah.
Yes.
And also kind of looking at it maybe from a Ayurvedic perspective, I thought I'd spend a bit of time going into this now. Because very often, if we don't maybe have the support around us to reach out to, is also to look within. And in Ayurveda, kind of the air element is known as the Vayus. And we talk about 5 Vayus in Ayurveda or in yoga. And it's kind of like wind, which is movement across space. And the first one, which a lot of our yogis will know about, because we work a lot with this in yoga, is the Apana Vayu, which is like a downward energy, a downward wind. So that's what helps with all the elimination. It helps with birthing. It helps to release the menses. It's kind of like that grounding energy, downward energy, drawing out. And we need that to be functioning every day. We need to be, having a proper bowel movement and elimination so that there is a sense of space and clearness within us so that the rest of the body can work more efficiently and effectively. So when our Apana Vayu, our downward energy, isn't balanced or strong, then we struggle with that elimination. And we need to find ways to kind of work with that energy, that wind, to help it draw down. Then the second one that we have is Samana Vayu, which is it's kind of like a side to side wind or movement, and it's in our abdominal area, and it supports digestion. And we know from kind of the chats we've had in the last couple of months, digestion's got a lot to do with the fire element. And when our digestion is strong, then we've got like the Samana Agni. It is even, it is healthy, breaks down what needs to break down, and it then eliminates what needs to eliminate. But when our digestion is sluggish, or when it's burning too hot or not right, that's when we create a lot of toxins in our body, and it can again give us that heavy feeling or an unbalanced feeling, that sluggish feeling. So it's really important to keep this wind of digestion even and healthy, and depending on our constitution will depend on maybe how we need to approach it, because no two people are the same. We all have different ways and things that we need to be doing. We all know, eating healthy is important and whatnot, and, eating regularly. And some people may do better with, 2 big meals. Some people may do better with 3 big meals, but it depends on who we are. And there's no set rule as to, how everyone needs to operate. We need to go within and be a bit more intuitive and learn different practices, and then test out and see what works for us. So that was the kind of like the second wind. And the third wind, which is pretty much related a lot with our chakra today, is this Pranavayu, this energy, this wind in the chest, and it assists us with breathing. And that's why when we do, all our deep breathing practices, our heart center feels open and light and free, and like the ability to connect more easily with others and around us. It's kind of like an upward energy, upward movement energy. And then we also look at Udana Vayu, which is more in the area of the throat. So it's like an upward and outward energy, and it's related to our sense of speech, being able to form words and release them out, as we are doing now, to the universe and to those who need to hear it. And when our Udana Vayu is beautifully balanced and settled and healthy and strong, we can speak and release from purpose with conviction. So we can get across what it is we are trying to say very easily, very smoothly, and without any interruptions. And then the very, very last vayu or wind within us is the Vyana vayu, which is kind of like all pervading and is what supports us with circulation, getting the body healthy. And that's why, why we love our yoga practice so much, because going through the process of doing our sun salutations and moving the body and stretching and opening and squeezing and lengthening, that really supports circulation through the body and really helps to move this Vyana Vayu within us so that, the lymph can move, the blood can move, it's all circulating, it's all getting filtered and kind of moved through the spleen, toxins drawn out, fresh air drawn in. So everything needs to be working optimally for good health. We can't just have like our pranavaya working. We can't just, do breathing practices all day and forget about samanavaya and making sure that our digestion is healthy and that we've got enough space in our abdominal area to allow for the fire to build and to burn. We can't, not talk and not speak and not communicate with others. We need to be able to have that connection. So I just thought I would bring that little spin in on the Ayurvedic side of things with the 5 vayus.
Absolutely. I mean, in the end, it's really all about finding that balance, that perfect balance that works for you in the moment, and I might be super balanced today, but in a week's time, doing exactly the same thing, I might be completely thrown out of balance and needing to once again go within to just check on everything. How am I feeling? How are my stress levels? What's happening for me emotionally? What's happening for me on a physical level? So for me, it really is all about moving inside. To be able to just focus on what's going on for you, and then from there, finding tools of how to assist yourself to moving forward. And there are so many beautiful tools, like you've just mentioned on the Ayurvedic path, finding the balance of the internal winds, and then there are other ways of being able to also make use of opening your heart space with the practice of yoga, with the practice of the sun salutations, working on the different areas in our body, and maybe even bringing in some essential oils, some lavender, some rose, some cedarwood, and then even perhaps bringing in some toning, some voicing. And one of the beautiful vibrational sounds is the ah sound. That you can just allow yourself to, during the course of the day, if you're in the car, to just voice, just get yourself into it and just release the sound of ah, and that vibration even moving through your body. Or, one can even make use of the beautiful heart chakra mantra, which is yam, and actually spoken out as yam. There's like a silent H behind the A. So I'll just repeat that for you again. It's yam, which is also such a beautiful vibration being sent through your being. There are so many different ways of even bringing crystals into your life. I'm sure everybody's very familiar with the rose quartz crystal, always working in pairs, to hold that on you, or the green jade, the pink fluoride, or even the green fluoride. To be able to really also then ground yourself again with these crystals, having that earthly connection. And then one of my all-time favorites is, of course, the affirmations.
Yes.
And the beautiful affirmation for the heart space is, I give and receive love and joy easily.
I give and receive love and joy easily. So lovely.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. It really allows us to be in that exchange of, yes, I can receive, but, on the same side, I'm also able to give, and vice versa.
Exactly. That exchange is so vital, so important.
Mm. Mm.
And I'm just going to add into your little list of, things that help to, I think kind of what you were talking about, things that really uplift and kind of stimulate the heart center, get it
Absolutely,
moving.
yeah.
But also, practices to help balance and just settle the air element, because sometimes the air can be a little wild and very busy. And then practices like mindfulness or meditation and contemplation can be so useful, going inwards, going into that quiet space, even journaling. I did a lovely journaling workshop, which I've popped on my website this month, actually. And we all joined in together, and we were all journaling about kind of like our challenges and, where we're wanting to get to and what we're wanting to do. And just having, even though we were in a big group doing it, virtually, having that quiet space and time was so introspective. So again, you have like the people you're doing it with, but everyone is quietly doing their own thing. It's funny how you can still create energy even though everyone is virtual and remote. That was a big lesson for me. But journaling is a lovely practice to do, also just to get your thoughts out onto paper, so that there's not all this busyness in the mind. And then, like you were saying with the R breath, the pranayama, always love pranayama. And I'll be doing a breathing practice with everyone this month, and we'll do a practice where we really slow down, where we kind of create more space and more time for us to allow the breath to lengthen and to just be.
Lovely, yeah. It's really important to be able to slow down and to just allow yourself to be in the moment, and to use the beauty of awareness, and just being aware of what is present in the moment. I also feel that often the things that we tend to worry about and stress about are things that are not yet in the moment, but in the future. So by really being able to stay present and aware of, everything that is in your hands. I don't really want to say in your control, because nothing really is in our control, but what is tangible in your hands right now? What is it that you can do about this situation right now? And that really, sorry. Yeah. And that really is the beauty of it. Yeah. No.
What I was just going to add into this, what you were saying, the air element is so disturbed by this hurrying and scurrying around when we're too overscheduled. It's like the energy is just, bitsy, and it's shooting out here and shooting out there, and, it's circulating around that way. And there's no kind of like structure or direction for that air channel to move in. And what we find is, or at least what I found in the past, is that I always overscheduled myself. My to-do list was so long, there was so much on my plate, and it would really destabilize me or unbalance me, that I wasn't able to get through everything every day that I wanted to do. And it really was messing with this air element, and not having the lightness and the subtleness and the spontaneity of the air element to guide my day. So kind of like one of the tips I'm going to have for everyone is really just take out what is non-essential, because we all are overscheduled at the moment. I think, I haven't really met a person that isn't. We always try to fill our calendar to the max, and really write down literally, what are the things you need to do, and circle one or two that are important, and only focus your energy on that. Because when you're focusing your energy on just one project or one aspect, you're not getting distracted by everything else, and you're not sending the energy in all different directions. You're just focusing it in one direction. So that is probably going to be one of my kind of big takeaways for myself this month as well, but also to share with everyone else, because I know that when I do that, and I eliminate what is not actually essential to me right now, and I focus on really what is essential, that I'm so much more productive and so much more balanced as well.
Absolutely. And I think one of the big things as well is to move out of the space of having to feel that one needs to please others,
I like that.
I feel, especially at this time of the year, moving closer to Christmas, we either have so many demands on ourselves, or we place so many demands on ourselves. You can see it both ways. It's the get-togethers, it's the Christmas parties, it's the family get-togethers, and then often also at the end of the year you have parents, with school projects and school closings. And as you rightly said, you have these projects that are standing in front of you, or things that you need to do, but to maybe also just take a step back and see which of these things are really necessary for me to do right now, for my family. Is it right for us to be going to all these things every single weekend, or maybe even twice or three times a week? Or would it be better for us to just choose one of these, one that is really is good for all of us?
Exactly.
And to be a little bit more mindful in all the things that you do say yes to, because it is just as important for us to be able to say, no, thank you. You don't even have to give a reason, but just to honor that no, and to be able to not feel bad about it, and go home and take that bath if you need that bath to get rid of a stressful day,
Exactly. Just to be more discerning, like you were saying, with the choices that are there, and to know that it's okay to say no. We are allowed to say no. Just because you're saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It helps you to put up boundaries and structures so that everyone knows how they're able to relate to you, and so that you also don't feel that your energy is being depleted. And like you're saying, sometimes it's just taking, this evening I need to do a nice little oil massage and take a bath. I need to ground myself. I need to get into the earth, into the physical. I need to get into the water, and honor if that's what you're doing, especially if in this like Christmas period that's coming up, if you find you are going to be doing a lot more than you normally would, take the time and honor yourself with doing practices that nurture and nourish you.
Absolutely. And I also find that with the heart chakra and the air element also comes the sense of touch. The sense of touch is so beautiful, being able to hug your friends, your partner, allowing yourself to be intimate with that special person in your life. All these things add to happiness, add to the feeling of being loved. And then, as you just mentioned now, even self-touch, giving yourself a massage, either, oil massage before you step into the shower, or even when you get out of the bath, just to be gentle with yourself. Very important in these days, with all that's been going on with social distancing, and
exactly. We forget, how important that sense of touch is, and how we need it. And especially kids, how it really settles the nervous system when there's like a little bit of pressure on the body. I'm just, gently massaging my legs as well. And as soon as you just, touch yourself, massage your arms, your legs, your elbows, whatever it is, it just starts to move everything that was outwards, and it starts to move things inwards. And that is what we want to do when our air element, our heart center, gets a little dissipated and a little overwhelmed.
Absolutely. It really also calms the nervous system, go take yourself for a lovely massage, or give yourself a foot massage, it really calms the nervous system, that sense of being present in your body.
Yeah. And vital for kids as well at this kind of busy time of year. In the southern hemisphere, we probably find that, a lot of kids are finishing off school exams in the year, and kind of where you are, Nicole, probably also trying to get midterm things done with regards to Christmas and the end of year. And it can really upset or spiral kids a little. I don't want to say out of control again, but it can unsettle them. Because there's so much to do, and there's so much that they also need to be doing. So just sitting on the couch and, giving each other foot massages, like family foot massage time, even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a perfect thing to be doing.
And what a great way to bring everybody together. Absolutely. It's beautiful.
100%.
Yeah. Nice.
Cool. So any more ideas, tips or thoughts from your side?
I think what's coming up for me right now to share with everybody is just to be gentle. Move gently along in your path. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with the others around you. And connect to nature. Connect to yourself. Connect to others when you're feeling your heart opening to do so, and also feel that I need to share that you are not alone. We are all not alone. We sometimes do feel very alone, but just to know that you're not you're not alone. We all here, all on this crazy journey called life. And yes, if you need to reach out, reach out.
100%. Absolutely love it. Good job.
Thank you, Nina. Anything else that you still want to add before we end off?
No, I think you've summed it up beautifully. I think the only thing that comes from my side, which might sound a little cliched, is love. Just feel the love within, let it out, feel the love from without, and let it in. Let it be that, two-way motion, and allow that gateway to be open and free.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our listeners. Wishing you a beautiful, nourishing day and month further. And we look forward to presenting all the classes to you in Heart Space this month.
Love it. Have a lovely day. Lots of love.
Lots of love. Ciao for now.
This is Nina
and Nicole sending you a big thank you for listening to the Nourish and Restore podcast.
This is our podcast for health and wellness workers and learners out there, a resource for you to nourish your body, mind, and soul, and to restore yourself to your natural state of being.
Simple ways to live healthier, happier, and at ease.
For more information on working with me, Nina Sachs, visit www.saacks.com.
And to work with me, Nicole, visit www.lov-me.com.
To find out more about Nourish and Restore, visit our website or Facebook page, nourishandrestore.yoga.
Links will be in the show notes.
We look forward to catching up with you next week.
Namaste and have a nourishing day.